بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Good to see you once again, dear students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As you know that in the previous lecture we talked about the important topics, the characteristics of a leader, or the characteristics that leaders should have. Amongst these characteristics were important characteristics such as integrity, ability to delegate, communication, self-awareness, and gratitude that we have studied. But before that, we studied the vision of a leader, or the vision a leader should have is to have a bigger picture of the scenario and situation that he lives, or the we can talk about the organization goal and mission that he has, and look at the greater good of the people, the society, in the organization, rather than looking at the tiny benefits and the tiny things in the organization. Plus, sincerity and accountability is amongst the important things in it. The leaders should be honest, sincere, and accountable for everything that they do and they perform. The third one was motivation. The leaders should motivate their followers, and the leaders should have motivation within themselves in the visions that they have. So in the characteristics, in integrity, we said that the decisions making of the organization should be focused, they should be accurate and correct and complete. The leaders should have the ability to organize people, create teams, lead those teams, and in order to make better decisions. The leaders should be able to communicate properly using various techniques, wisdom, and use various channels to talk to people, to communicate with people. And the other one was self-awareness. The leaders should have awareness about themselves, about how others know about them, how others think about them. This was the other important part. While the last or the fifth characteristic we studied was the gratitude. The leaders should thank all the employees working with them, all the employees performing well in the organization, or all the followers that are working with him in the political group or the political side of the leadership. So the fifth characteristic actually is the learning agility. By learning agility, we can also mean learning ability. The leaders should have a good learning abilities. They should know how to take decisions, especially in difficult times, in unfamiliar situations. They should know about such difficult times that they may come in the calamities, in the difficult situations could come to organizations. How they should communicate, actually, how they should react to those political instabilities, securities, or political dilemmas that could take place in an organization. Now, for example, I give you an example. در یک دفتر ما شما کار میکنیم، یک رهبر داره، او رهبر دیگه کارایشان به شکل روتین روان است. یک دفعه مظاهره شد در داخل ارگانیزیشن و مردم خیستن، یک مطالبه داشتن که این کار ما را باید شما انجام بدین. دیگه آیا رهبر باید ورخطا شوه و کلگی نفر منفق کنه یا رخصت کنه یا فایر کنه به اصطلاح، و یا او باید فکر کنه، بسنجه و مردم بگه که شما باشین، ما یک فکر میکنیم، یک چارهش میسنجیم. به خاطر از بیرون رفتن از مشکلات باید بتانه که تصمیم خود به شکل درست بگیره. مثال میتونه که همون مشکلاتی که کارمندا داره او را گوش کنه، هغه واوري، بیا د هغې نه وروسته د هغې د حل کولو دپاره خلکو سره کیني، ناسته پاسته وکړي او جوړ آمد وکړي او د دفتر ته غټ تاوان رسېدلو نه دفتر وژغوري. نو دغه ابیلیټي او دغه استعداد باید په رهبر کې وي. Influence, as we studied, the leaders should not only encourage people through good talks, good debates, and good speeches. No, he can also encourage people through logical arguments, through emotional arguments, emotional sides of the arguments, and even sometimes the physical influence and motivation could also take place. By physical motivation, we mean rewards, bonuses, cash rewards, etc. By emotional, we mean, for example, in a Muslim community like Afghanistan, you can encourage the employees by telling them religious things, religious aspects of, for example, working hard, being honest in the organization, and etc. The other part is the empathy. Empathy is the other characteristic. By empathy, we mean that the interest of people should be increased. It should be increased by work and the people who are working with you. You can increase their interest, for example, by assigning them work, by encouraging them during the work, or by giving them appraisal, etc. So love and empathy and interest should be increased by various ways that the leaders can adopt. Courage is the ninth characteristic a leader should have, as just like the influence, and the leaders can help their employees or followers to step ahead, to go ahead, to move forward by courage, by یک روحیه برشان میده، یک تشویقشان میکنه و برشان کوشش میکنه که وارا شجاع و دلیر بسازن تا که کارهای خود به شکل درست انجام بدن. Self confidence is very important and leaders can do that. They build this ability of the confidence in their followers to perform certain things, allow them to take decisions by themselves rather than by going into a very strict or autocratic leadership style, not to allow them to take the decision by themselves, by their own selves. کله کله دا ضرورت پیدا کیږي چې رهبران خپل فالوورانو ته د اجازه ورکړي چې په خپله ځینې تصامیم ونیسي. نو دا ضرور نه دی چې هر بخش کې چې دی خلک چې دی د لیډر نه او یا د منیجر نه مشوره واخلي. ځینې تصمیمونه تر یو حده پورې هغوی باید خپله ونیولی شي. Respect is very important. This could be the last characteristic. If you are not allowing your employees to take decisions, or you are not trusting them, if you're not respecting their ideas, then you will not make yourself a good leader. This is very important. If you respect the employees, this will lead to decreasing their pressure, conflict within the organization, and it will give them this idea that this organization belongs to them as well. So the employees will be actually improving their quality, work quality, and the production quality in the organization that they are serving in or at. So this was basically the 5 remaining characteristics: the gratitude, learning ability, influence, empathy, courage, and respect. The next part of the lecture that we have is the types of leadership that we have. We have, like, almost similar to the characteristics, we have 10 types of leadership. In some places I've seen 6, 7, but I've taken most of them in order to discuss. So maybe they are interrelated to each other. The باجا شاید که دیگه مدغم شده باشه، اما هدف ما این است که هر یک جدا جدا بخوانیم تا که بتانیم که به شکل درست باز از اون مفهوم افاده کنیم و خود بفهمیم. The first one is coach. The second one is visionary, servant, autocratic, laissez-faire or hands-off, democratic, pace-setter, transformational, transactional, and bureaucratic. These are the 10 major types of leadership that we have. We will study each and every of these in details. We will study the definitions in here, and in the other part of the lecture we have here, we will discuss it in some examples that we have. So coach is the first part. In the coach section, we will understand that a coach is like a team coach, like a leader. Here the leaders are actually trying to understand the positive and negative points of their employees or followers, and the motivations that they should perform in order to improve the individuals in the organization. So here the leaders are trying to create a sort of positive and motivating environment where every employee or follower works in his best in order to achieve the organizational goal and mission. So coaches basically utilizing the strengths and weaknesses of the employees in creating a positive and motivating environment for the employees in an organization. So actually sometimes this could be not a good option. We could choose the other options that we have. For example, the other one is the visionary. In the visionary, we say that the ability to inspire others in earning their trust for new ideas and establish strong organizational bond. You see, here they are not actually looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the employees, but they are trying to be to inspire the employees and earn their trusts and for the new ideas that the leaders have, and the leaders are trying to develop good relationship with the employees rather than looking at the strengths and weaknesses of the employees. The leaders actually focus on themselves in order to allow others to trust him, and to allow him to work further by establishing good organizational bond. And as you could see here, within the example, it says that this type of leadership is helpful, especially for small, fast or fast-growing organization or larger organization experiencing transformations or corporate restructuring. But it means that it is good for small organization to think about inspiring the employees and establishing good relationship in order to move ahead and work harder and faster. So the other part is the servant. Servant is the third leadership type that we have. So servant is like more effective, more likely to produce greater work regularly. Because of the emphasis on the employee satisfaction and collaboration, the leaders are actually gaining higher respect amongst the employees due to the work quality and emphasizing on the satisfaction of the employee as well. So here the leaders are very much skilled, and they have this ability to actually increase the morale of the employees or the followers in the organization to allow them to start their work again and again, and to not to lose their hope in the organizations and their works. تاسو شاید په مختلفو ځایونو کې کارمندان لیدلی وي یا نور اجتماعي لحاظ هم ځینې کسان لیدلی وي چې هغوی کله کله مورال یې ضعیفه کېږي. دلته هدف دا دی چې کله کارمندان کار کوي او د کارونو نتیجه صحیح نه وي یا قناعت رضامندي د کارمندانو یا د مشتریانو کمه شي نو دلته رهبران په یو طریقه باندې چې هغوی هغه مهارت لري د هغې نه استفاده کوي تر څو د دوی مورال چې دی دا قوي کړي، د دې کارمندانو یا فالوورانو مورال قوي کړي تر څو هغوی بیا په کار کې اخته شي او بیا په داسې طریقه باندې کار وکړي چې مشتریان خوشحاله شي. یا که په سیاسي لحاظ موږ او تاسې وګورو، موږ او تاسې ویلی شو چې که موږ او تاسې په یو ساحه کې من حیث یو رهبر بل کس روزو او هغه یو کار دپاره لیږو او هغه کله کله مورال ضعیفه شي، نو موږ او تاسې د خپل هغه مهارتونه چې موږ او تاسې لرو د هغې نه استفاده کوو تر څو هغوی بېرته په خپلو کارونو کې بشپړ شي. دا انساني طبیعت دی. انسانان کله کله هغه ناهیلیتوب درجې ته رسیږي، کله انسانان سست شي، کله ښه، نو دا کله شیطان انسان بل طرف ته بوځي. نو دا مهمه ده چې داسې څوک وي چې زموږ او تاسې مورال را قوي کړي او موږ او تاسې د دې جوګه شو تر څو پورې بېرته پاڅېږو او کارونه مخې ته یوسو. The other part is autocratic. So in autocratic, it is like a very much strict type of the leadership type. Here the results and efficiency important. Decisions are made by the leaders themselves or the trusted group, the mafia group that they have. So employees are expected to do whatever they are told by the one-man army leader or the trusted group that they have. So here the leaders are functioning like military commanders. قومندان باندې برخورد کوي. دلته رهبرانو کې چې دی رهبرانو ته نتیجه مهمه وي او د کار موثریت مهم وي تشویق او دا شیونه پکې ډیر کم وي تصامیم هم چې دي هغه محدود یا خپل رهبر یا محدود دي هغه ټیم نیسي او کارمندان چې دي هغوی باید هماغه کار وکړي چې کوم ورته هغه رهبر او هغه ټیم ورته وایي. دلته رابطه چې ده د دوستانه او د ورورګلوۍ رابطې په ځای باندې عسکري سیستم وي. دا بیا ډېر مفید نه وي چې اټوکراټیک سیستم موږ او تاسې فالو کوو. د اټوکراټیک نه وروسته لیزي فیر or hands off leadership type دی. This is actually the opposite of this one. This is basically focusing on the team work that requires very little supervision. There is no need to focus more on managing the employee, supervising the employee, monitoring the employees actually. You see, from hands off means that you are not actually putting your hands on the employees. You are not actually trying to make things or make decisions alone. You are not actually trying to pressurize the employees to do what they want. There is no military type relationship here. The leaders are not military people. They actually are functioning as a team leader or a person who is trying to monitor people in a good way, and very little supervision. Only people are allowed to do their work by motivation and etc. So in autocratic, a lot of time is spent in supervising the employees, but here that particular time is saved, and there is no need to supervise the employee, or there is very little need to supervise them. The other one is democratic or participative leadership, and democratic or participative leadership is the combination of the autocratic and the laissez-faire leadership type. Here actually the input is important, but besides the input there is a focus on the feedback, as it says, who asks for input and considers feedback from their team before making a decision. So feedback is important. It is not only like autocratic to ask for the employees to do whatever the leadership is telling them, but here the input is important, the feedback is important, result is important, but the feedback is taken from the employees as well. So team members believe their voice is heard. The team members, everyone working in the team, they believe that their voice is important for the leadership, and their contribution matters, and whatever they do is important for them. So this is actually a good model for creativity and innovation, the democratic or participative leadership. It is called participative because everybody is participating. There is innovation, there is creativity, everybody is heard. The feedback is taken after the input is put, so only then we will have good results and output. The other part is pace setter. Pace setter is I think the sixth category, or the sixth or the seventh category in the leadership type. It is very well for the results to be received or to be achieved faster, as it says pace setter. So it's focusing on the pace to be faster. It is focusing on the performance of the employees or the followers. It is very motivational and helpful, and the fast-paced environments where team members need to be energized. Actually, it may not work in most of the organization of Afghanistan because the results cannot be achieved faster, but it can work in countries, European countries, because there the speed of the work in such environments is very faster. So energy is important, but still the work has to be done very fast as compared to the other styles that we study. Transformational, it is similar to coach, as you remember. We have studied coach here, and the coach, the strengths and weaknesses of employees were considered. A motivating environment was created, a positive environment was important. So in the transformation, similarly, focusing on a clear communication. Goal setting is important. Employees have to be motivated, but instead of placing the majority of the energy into each employee's individual goals, it focuses on the organizational goals, on the organizational objectives. You see, individuals are ignored to some extent, while in the coach, individual goals were important. Here, that individual goal focus is put on the organizational objectives to be achieved. So that's called transformational, because it transforms the individual goals to be leading towards the organizational goals to be achieved. The ninth one is transactional leadership style. By transactional leadership style, we mean that it is close to the pace setter, very close to the pace setter, where the fast environment, fast results are achieved in fast environments actually. But here the leader establishes predetermined incentives, usually in the form of monetary reward for success and disciplinary action for failure. It means that if the employees are performing well, they are given cash rewards in success, in appraisals, in promotions. But if the employees are actually not performing well, then they might be actually punished for the failures that they are going through or they have caused the organization to. So in these organizational specific goals are targeted. Specific goals for various organizational could be sales, to increase their sale, to increase their income or revenue. That could be a goal for some organization. So it's not actually the best style for innovation in creativity, because only those people are rewarded who are actually moving towards success, while the other people who are not in the success stage or who are sometimes leaving in the backside, or they are not fast, or they will be ignored. Maybe they are sometimes penalized for their activities. The last type of the leadership is the bureaucratic, taken from bureaucracy. It is similar to autocratic, where the environment is so tough, where the people are told exactly the things that has to be done either by the leader or by the group. The environment is just like a military environment, but it actually focuses on fixed duties within a hierarchy. There are duties assigned to each and every person in the organizational hierarchy or structure or chart. So each employee has a set of responsibilities on his shoulder to perform. So they have to perform such or those responsibilities, and everybody since is doing their own activities by themselves, so there is a very little need for creativity and working together and for collaboration within the employees. So basically we studied 10 characteristics alongside with 5 remaining 10 characteristics alongside with the 10 types of the leadership style that we have. And lastly, we have the other assignment that would be asked in the coming month, in the June month, in the 1st of June. You have like 10 days from today on, 20th of May. How can leaders create a vision that can be achieved? I give you some of the hints in the first slides, visions of a leader. So how can they create a vision that is easily achieved in the organization, and that would be easily achievable to the employees. So the coming classes, we will discuss creating an inspiring vision and align people to achieve it, and basic human rights. If there are other topics, we will discuss them as well. Thank you very much for listening and watching the video. If you have any queries, please do not hesitate to share in the WhatsApp group or in the LMS if possible, or contact me through my phone number available in the WhatsApp. Thank you very much, and jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.